Samsung could be preparing one of its most important foldable smartphones ever. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide is not just another annual upgrade. According to recent reports, Samsung is placing huge confidence in this device, and that alone says a lot about how important it could be for the company's future. The foldable smartphone market is entering a completely new era. For years, Samsung dominated the category with very little competition. But now, things are changing rapidly. Apple is reportedly preparing to launch its first foldable iPhone, and Samsung knows it cannot afford to stand still. That is exactly where the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide comes in. Unlike previous Galaxy Fold models, which used a tall and narrow cover display, the Fold 8 Wide is expected to introduce a significantly wider design. This may sound like a small change, but it could completely transform the user experience. One of the biggest complaints about Samsung's Fold series has always been the narrow outer display. While it worked well for quick tasks, many users felt it was not ideal for typing, browsing, messaging, or using apps comfortably. A wider display could finally solve that problem and make the Fold feel much closer to a traditional smartphone when it is closed. And Samsung appears extremely confident about this new direction. According to supply chain reports, the company is considering increasing production targets for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide even before its official launch. Samsung is reportedly planning to add hundreds of thousands of extra units to its initial manufacturing plans. That is a major signal. Smartphone companies do not increase production unless they believe demand will be strong. Samsung seems to view the Fold 8 Wide as much more than another foldable device. It could become the smartphone that helps defend its market leadership before Apple's foldable iPhone arrives. Interestingly, Samsung is not showing the same level of excitement for the Galaxy Z Flip 8. Industry reports suggest that production targets for the Flip 8 remain relatively conservative. This does not mean Samsung is abandoning the Flip series. Instead, it suggests the company currently sees greater growth potential in book-style foldables rather than clamshell designs. There is a good reason for that. Analysts expect 2026 to become one of the biggest years ever for foldable smartphones. Demand for book-style foldables is expected to rise significantly as more consumers become comfortable with the technology. Foldables are no longer experimental products. They are gradually becoming mainstream devices, and manufacturers are racing to secure their positions before competition becomes even stronger. Samsung knows that the next few years could define the future of the entire smartphone industry. However, not everyone is convinced that the Fold 8 Wide will be an instant success. The wider design has already sparked debates among smartphone enthusiasts. Some users worry that certain applications may not be fully optimized for the new screen dimensions. Others wonder whether a wider foldable device could become less comfortable to use with one hand. These concerns are understandable. Whenever smartphone companies introduce major design changes, there is always an adjustment period. New shapes create new opportunities, but they can also create unexpected challenges. That said, Samsung has years of experience developing foldable devices. The company has spent multiple generations refining software optimization, multitasking features, and application compatibility. If any smartphone manufacturer can successfully introduce a new foldable form factor, Samsung is probably in the best position to do it. Another important factor is timing. Apple's rumored foldable iPhone is getting closer to reality. While details remain limited, many analysts expect Apple to become Samsung's biggest competitor in the foldable segment. Once Apple enters the market, consumer interest in foldable smartphones could increase dramatically. Samsung clearly wants to strengthen its position before that happens. Instead of playing it safe, the company appears ready to experiment with a fresh design that could attract both existing Fold users and people who have never owned a foldable smartphone before. And honestly, that might be exactly what the foldable market needs right now. For several generations, foldable phones have focused mainly on improving durability, reducing the display crease, and refining hinge mechanisms. Those upgrades are important, but consumers also want something that feels genuinely new. A wider fold could deliver that experience. If Samsung gets the pricing right, improves comfort, and delivers a better everyday experience, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide could become one of the most talked about smartphones of the year. Ultimately, everything will depend on real-world performance. Production increases, supply chain reports, and market predictions are interesting, but consumers will decide the phone's success after launch. If people love the wider design, Samsung's gamble could turn into a major victory. If they do not, it could become one of the company's most ambitious experiments. Either way, The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide is shaping up to be one of Samsung's most exciting devices in years, and it could play a huge role in shaping the future of foldable smartphones. So, what do you think? Is the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide the foldable smartphone you have been waiting for? Or do you prefer Samsung's traditional fold design? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy smartphone leaks, technology news, and the latest updates, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.